things that are just like cemented into my childhood from old Sesame Street. Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here with us on Must Be Nice with Kyle Adams and Chad Johnson, where we get down to shit. We get down to it. That's Kyle Adams right there. Hi.
I just spilled my bong.
I'm Chad Johnson. See, we're getting down to the nitty gritty right here. I'm uncovering secrets from Sesame Street. Kyle's spilling his bong. What are those things? Those sock monster, weird ass, the ones that just yip a bunch.
Yep. Yeah.
And they go baha.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
I
God damn it! Those people. That was like post LSD, right into like cocaine, and then it just like normalized, and now all these people are fucking just weirdos, and they're in charge of kids' television.
Man, I was watching. So they've got a newer Muppet show on Disney Plus, and I was watching it, and they've got segments with the Swedish Chef, and they're fucking hilarious, dude. They're so good.
Like, I can see that. He was always really funny.
So funny. They do a cooking show where they have like a celebrity on, and then the celebrity makes like a real dish, and then they pan over to the Swedish Chef to see what he's doing, and he's just like fucking around, obviously, but it's really funny. They did an episode with Danny Trejo that was really good.
Dude, Danny Trejo is awesome. He's just straight across great.
Yeah, I love Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I watched Bubble Boy a little bit ago, and God, that movie, for one, holds up perfectly. It's free on YouTube. Just go watch it. Anybody who wants to.
Really, I didn't know it was on YouTube. Nice.
Yeah, so it's free with ads on YouTube, but I watched it with my account that isn't signed in with the premium account. So that one does have ads, and no ads came up on that one. So, I mean, good luck. Cross your fingers. But I mean, hey, it's free. You can just watch it with some ads. And I feel like YouTube ads are way better than television ads because the breaks probably aren't so long. And they have a countdown to tell you how much longer you have.
I think we watched, I think Tori and I watched something on YouTube. I think we watched, Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
Is that the one where he titularly goes back to school?
Yeah, dude, the movie's literally
Billy Madison?
It's Billy Madison, but with Rodney Dangerfield. And it's college instead of like elementary through high school.
What's his reason for going back to school?
I forget exactly. He wants to hang out with his son, I think, is what it is. Like he sees that his
come on, son.
Yeah, and it's just him and his dad hanging out. And Robert Downey Jr.'s in it. It's a really weird movie. It's really weird.
Oh, that's right around the Robert Downey fun phase, right?
That was before. That was his early phase. So he was also he's one of the bullies in Weird Science. So it was like during like weird 80s heartthrob phase.
He had that whole like the weird hair that was like slicked back on the sides.
He just looks like a hipster in this movie. Yeah. He's just walking around all like 80s hipstery. Like if you bump into him too hard, he'll just a cassette tape will explode.
Like, dude, you just said explode, and I just heard an explosion outside.
Oh shit!
Whoa!
An explosion?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Is Salem under attack?
Well, I mean, dude, this whole like ice thing is all eerie, and part of Salem just doesn't have power, and I don't know. Our house just got lucky that because like we went yesterday and we walked around the block, and there's houses that have trees on them, like just right in the roof, and then there's cars that have like a tree that has shattered their windshield and back windshield, and this is all just like, you know, not even 100 yards right there, and there's just like trees everywhere. We just got so fucking lucky that like, I don't know, it's weird. So like a lot of places really close to us, and like a lot of parts of Salem, like from here to my work is like 2.5 miles,
Mhm.
and most of it from here to my work just has no power.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's just so weird because it's like there's a four-way intersection that's like a 4-lane street this way, 4-lane street this way, and then everybody's just stopping, and like it becomes one of those where it's a 4-way stop now, but everybody's just like,
We had that the first day it started snowing. That was the only day that I was actually out on the road, and
mhm.
when that first started, and it was on Powell, and I was like, okay, are we really doing this? Powell is a 4-way stop now with like 19 cars at once. Like this is
Yeah,
fuck. So I was literally just waiting for everyone else to stop and everyone else near, like perpendicular or parallel with me to go, and then I was like, all right, I guess we're going. And then I just didn't look back. But luckily, it was only one light on the entire road, so it wasn't too bad.
yeah, it's it's just weird when that kind of shit happens. And what the fuck? What the fuck? The sky turns red, and then it's all like the ground is covered in cigarette butts or whatever. It's just ash everywhere.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just fucking. It's weird. Uh, I don't know. That explosion was pretty weird. And
Oh
also,
man.
yeah. No, I'm just like, what the fuck was that? Also,
Hmm.
you said explosion at the exact same time.
That's
It
creepy.
fucking weirded me out. Yeah, like goosebumps on the top of my head, shit, kind of shit. That's crazy.
Here's the
So yeah.
I am the Joker, and I have really explosives all outside of Salem.
When we record this podcast, they will go off with keywords and phrases.
Must be nice.
Kaboom. Yeah. It's weird. So like, I work for a delivery store. And
Hmm.
so I go into work today just like, oh man, it's crazy out here. That's nuts. I'm going to be driving around in all this crazy shit. And then so I walk in and I see a sign that's just printed out and it says, sorry, we're closed for delivery, carry out only. It's for the safety of our team or whatever. And then I was like, oh fuck. I came into work on a day when I don't get to drive around. And you don't realize how spoiled you are until that kind of shit gets taken away. Because it's like,
Hmm.
I've never in the whole time I've been there, which is fucking more than a decade now, been stuck inside and had to just work from inside and not just been driving around all day listening to my podcast and spoiled. So uh yeah, it was weird. I was just the person who answered phones all day. I
Oh
was just
fuck.
that. I was just that person. I was like, all right, I'll fucking do this. But I mean, it's fine. It was good. I like a face to face, with
Hmm.
customers.
I don't like answering the phone at work. I only ever answer the phone if there's no one else around. Like,
Mhm.
and then there's been times where I'm like, no, I'm not getting it. Like even if I was like the only person, because sometimes I'll be like the only person on the floor with one of the phones. Because there's a phone upstairs and a phone downstairs, but usually there's no one upstairs to grab it right away unless they're in the office. But if
Yeah.
it's like downstairs, I'll literally walk away from it. Like I'll be like, nah, I need something from the bar. Like I fucking hate
Uh
it because we always get the stupidest questions, or it's like just something that is a huge pain in the ass to have to deal with.
yeah, that's true. Can you tell me what kind of stuff you have on your menu?
Oh, dude, oh yeah, I know that
I
fucking
get
question.
I get dude, so working at a pizza place, you have to expect because people will just literally call and be like, "Hey, what kind of toppings do you have there?"
Mhm.
And you'll be like, "Are you asking me to read off the complete list of toppings we have?" And then they're
Mhm.
like, sure." And you're like, "Okay." And so I'll never do it, normal. I'll either go, way too fast or way too slow,
Mhm.
depending on the situation. So if it's someone who kind of speaks, this is I do this to anybody. I just find my ways to do it. So whatever. If it's someone who has pretty broken English, I'll go really fast. And then they're like, I don't know, pepperoni. And I'm like, that's the first one I said. Damn it. Okay, whatever. And yeah, it always turns out to be like a pepperoni or Hawaiian after you read the entire list of, I don't know, 30 things.
Yeah, that is frustrating. They do that with our beer list. Our beer list was really annoying because especially like because most of the people that make you go through it and then they end up getting like a Bud Light or something. You're like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. Like we have, and then you ask all these like flavor profiles and all this shit. Like, I'm not a fan of people who ask a million questions when they go out and then they order something completely different from what they like quiz you on the menu. You're like, why did you quiz me? I didn't know it was. I was like, I wouldn't have smoked 3 bowls before I came in if I pop quiz. I'm getting pop quizzed.
What Honey, this sounds complicated. Let's go to Burger King.
They want to go to they also want to know if the fish is like local or if the fish is organic or farm raised. There's all kinds.
Just be like, yeah, we caught it right out of the Willamette. It's fucking right.
Some people actually fucking think that we fished out of the Willamette. And I'm like, dude, we're a corporation that wanted nice real estate. That's all it is.
We're fish like, gets mailed to us. It comes in the mail. Yeah,
it does. It comes in FedEx fucking envelopes. I've seen it. It's fucking crazy. Like, what? Dude, that blew my mind. I didn't realize that you could FedEx fish. Like they literally would like overnight. They would overnight that shit. It was crazy. I was like, dude, I've signed for it before at the Beaverton store. I wasn't supposed to.
And you're like, what's this? And they're like, I don't know. And you're like, is this fish? And he's like, I'm not really supposed to say if this is fish or not.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's like the Mitch Hedberg joke, but with fish.
Yeah. Well, that was my old Red Robin bit. Was I don't want to reveal too much about this company. You know, that would be like letting the microwavable mac and cheese out of the bag. I don't want to do that. Like, or saying, you know, I'm really letting the microwavable mac and cheese out of the bag on this one. Like,
it's good mac and cheese, though.
It is. I mean, they do, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's how I've been known to make my Kraft macaroni and cheese. I just put it in a bowl with water, and then you just put it in the microwave, and then it's pretty soggy. And then you just put some butter and some milk and the cheese shit in there, and you just stir it up, and that's good enough. And it took 7 minutes instead of 12 minutes.
I'd rather just do the 12. I'm a mac and cheese purist. I won't make it like really good, but I'm a purist with how I cook it.
I like to put shredded mac and cheese. Yeah, so like now I make mac and cheese quite often now that I have a kid. So like she's got preferences. She likes, you know, I hold up the Kraft Classic. It's like the really thick and creamy one, or the Annie's shells with white cheddar.
I like the Annie's.
And she gets the white cheddar with a little bit of shredded cheese and Greek yogurt. She likes that. So I'm like, ooh, all right,
good.
She's got preferences. That's cool.
You should see if she likes. I've been doing this a lot lately. It's I think it's like Bertolli's or something is the brand, but it's stuffed tortellini. They have it at Winco for like pretty cheap, and it's like
I think
it's like $3 or $4 for a pack of it. It's really good. And it barely takes any time at all to boil. You just have
Is the pack like this big?
It's bigger than that, but it's clear.
Okay.
It's clear and they're multicolored.
They're like green
and like beige. Yeah. They're fucking awesome, dude. You should get that. And then you just need like a little sauce. You could even get like mac and cheese sauce and put it on there. Or get like I've been doing like a garlic Alfredo sauce with it and Italian sausage. And I put Italian sausage, spinach. Yeah, dude. It's basically adult mac and cheese, but it's fucking great.
That's fucking great.
It's so good. And it only takes like 10 seconds to even like heat, or 10 seconds. I mean 10 minutes to boil it, and they're like perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. You just drain them, put a little sauce on top.
I just ate. Well, I ate way too much food, but some of the food that I ate was, I guess, Infinity Room right now has a, a family night, like a date night deal or something. So Zach brought that home, and he's like, "Here, happy Valentine's Day or whatever." And so we just ate that, and it's like there's a couple of things that it's like meatloaf, but it's vegan, so I don't understand what I'm eating. So there's part of my brain that's like, just go with it, dude. Don't even worry about what this actually is. Yeah, it's fucking weird. But
So it's
some
like
sort
eating
of
vegan food is like eating a hot dog. You're like, I'm not sure.
yeah, I don't know
I
what
know
this
I know it's
is.
food. I know it's food, but I'm not sure what I'm eating.
Is it food? Like there's part of me that's like, well, I think that they found a material substance that's edible. And then they're like, well, we got flavor packets that make it fucking taste like beef or like spaghetti. Like, which one are we going for? Just put the spaghetti packet in, and then you stir it. The amount that you stir it is the consistency that it comes out. It's either kind of like gelatin or it's like a fucking couscous. It's fucking weird. Those, man, vegans are weird. I don't get it. It's a weird food substitute.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, hey, save the they're saving things with eyes, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I mean, I really liked what I've had from there so far. I want to try more of the food there. The donuts are fucking amazing. Those
Oh yeah.
donuts
I
so
didn't
good.
I didn't say it's all really good. Everything that I ate was really
Oh
good.
no, I know what you mean. But I mean like some of it though, like there's a degree. Like I like when that's what I like about the Infinity Room is they actually have some creative ideas with it. Whereas
Yeah.
like some of the other vegan stuff I've had, man, it's like, what the fuck? Like what were you even trying to do? Like
I heard on a uh like Emma was just doing a show, and it was a, what is her name? Dahlia Malik. She was talking about eating vegan chicken. And so they
uh-huh.
have chicken. It's like fake chicken, but it's the consistency of chicken, and it's like really close. And also there's a bone in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's either, I mean, Zach said they're made out of sugar cane, which sounds fucking great because then you can just eat the bone. Yeah. But she made it sound like it was plastic. So either way, what the fuck? That's crazy also. And that'd be kind of sweet to just be able to eat and be like, oh, here you go, just throw this thing away.
It's like a bone candy cane. It's like
Yeah, there's none of that shit, the cartilage and shoulder stuff that's in there.
Yeah, I don't like I like chicken, but I don't like the process of eating like chicken wings because of that. Like biting into tendons is really creepy to me. Like especially
Yeah.
since I've dissected animals and shit, like it freaks me out a little bit.
There's times that I like, if it's like a big hunk of meat, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I like getting that whole like I'm eating a fucking piece of meat, animal, teeth, mess, face. My hands are gross right now. This is awesome. That's but then there's part of it that's like I need to use too many napkins right now, and I need to be alone to eat this. And
Yeah.
that's one of those things that, like, if I were to go eat by myself, it'd be weird. You can't go eat by yourself, but that's when I'd be the most happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've very seldom have I eaten chicken wings since I've grown a beard either because it's
Yeah.
so gross. Like chicken wings in a beard is one of the grossest fucking things in the world. It's just uncomfortable for me, and I can't even imagine how. Is there another explosion?
No, there's just a bunch of people honking now.
Oh, weird. Someone's car exploded trying to drive in the fucking
Dude,
snow.
let's go fucking explore.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. This just became an investigative report.
I mean, see, now I can't see out of my window because my light's on. I gotta turn my light off. Okay. Here we go. Fucking spy time.
Spy vision. Fucking
See, I want to know why
must
people
be
are
nice
fucking honking so much.
edition.
I'm a spy. I mean, I don't know. Everything looks fine. I don't know why fucking okay. I'm also one of those. Oops. I'm also one of those people that I got like the same thing that a dog has, where it's like if anybody drives by, I'm like, who the fuck? What's going on? Who is that?
Dude, there's an episode of there's an episode of Malcolm in the Middle where the brother Reese he starts following around with a pack of dogs, and he's not even the alpha in the group. Like there's a dog that he says is like the alpha of the group. Anyways, someone the male person comes to deliver the mail, and he just like gets up at the window and he's like, hey, what are you doing here? This is our house, this isn't your house, get out of here. And it's like the male person just freaks out and like leaves without delivering the mail. Oh man.
That's exciting, dude. I've been watching that, and it's so fun to watch while like with your kid, because it's like it's all the different perspectives are happening all at once. We just watched the bowling one. That episode's like a work of art. It's really well done.
I forgot how fucking genius it is, because that was the turning point when I'm on my rewatch this time, where I'm like, oh, this show not only holds up, but it's kind of ahead of its time. Because I was like, this episode is so well done. Just the idea of this is the same night, but what would happen if Lois took over, and what would happen if Hal took over as the chaperone? And you're like, fuck, like just two completely different nights. But it's also funny because you realize Malcolm fucks it up in both scenarios.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you fucked it up both times. It's your fault, Malcolm. Like you're the asshole.
I like that there's I don't know, there's just like a whole lot like vignettes of the mom saying like all this stuff that's like, okay, now I don't want you guys doing this, and you guys got to like make sure you're bowling, and like keep your distance, boys and girls, and all this kind of stuff, and I'm gonna make sure that everybody's on the best behavior or whatever. And then it just cuts to Hal's turn, and he's like, hey, have fun.
Yeah, he's like,
that's it. Yeah,
you guys have a good time. Yeah, it's just great to see. I don't know, I always like shows that explored like multiple, I don't know, like timelines and shit like that, like where they can kind of do something creative in those lines. Like, and that show's just so well written in general.
Well, there's certain shows that kind of do break those rules and have been they kind of stick out for those reasons. Like Malcolm in the Middle is one of them. I think Animaniacs kind of does a lot of rule breaking for the better. But yeah, Malcolm in the Middle, it puts itself in like hyper reality, which is fun, or like not hyper, like surreality. Is that even? Can you say it like that? Surreality.
And because he's always got those little soliloquies. He's always talking to the audience. He's always breaking the fourth wall there. Shit just kind of happens to them always. Like it's always like everything just always goes wrong. Like
they're the center of attention for the entire neighborhood, because they're the center of the attention for the universe. That I mean, why wouldn't but it's they employ a lot of like cartoonish moments too, like when Stevie falls over, he balances for a second and then he like gives a little wink and then he falls over.
Oh yeah. that is also an interesting character, Stevie. Oh man. Yeah, it's definitely been a comfort show. It's been a good comfort show for the quarantine for sure.
Yeah.
It's nice to revisit that one. And I just love Bryan Cranston's amazing in everything he does.
I saw a Reddit shower thought that was Hal from Malcolm in the Middle has been arrested more times than whatever his name is from Breaking Bad.
Oh, Walter White. Yeah, I mean,
Walter White, yeah.
he kind of has. I think. I think in the show's run, he was arrested more.
I think so.
He's been arrested. He's been arrested a few times. He fights all the time.
He gets in fights?
Yeah, he gets in fights with other dads and shit a few times.
Oh, okay.
And then he gets framed. He also gets framed for embezzlement in one episode. That one's pretty fun, actually.
I fucking love that show. I'm excited to see that dog one. That's gonna be great. Man. Leo, just the update for Stardew Valley came out. Have you ever played Stardew Valley?
Mm-mm.
Oh man. I don't know if it's that I don't know if it's good that I got it, because it's one of those games. It's like, hey, here's a farm. You just do whatever, and then it's like, well, what do I do? And it's like, whatever you want. I'm like, well, I mean, what are the limits for whatever I want to do? And the game's like, fucking figure it out. It's like, oh fuck, and now it's like Terraria mixed with Animal Crossing. Oh god, it's just like, it's one of those games that I think is going to be right down my alley. Oh, so also it just got uh a patch so you can play local co-op split screen, and
Ooh.
yeah, so it's crazy. I gotta let my dog out of this room, because if there's a shut door, he has to go up to it and whine at it. Kind of like even if he's not hungry, if there's an empty food bowl, he just wants food in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to just stay accessible. It's weird having a old dog that just has it's weird. Dogs get preferences, and you utilize the way that a dog works for your own gain, and you're like, oh, if there's just repetition for you, then you'll be trained correctly and everything will work out for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, you don't think about the ways that dogs are kind of just like a thing that gets programmed in certain ways. So he always has access to his food. So if at any point he doesn't have access to his food, he's just like, yo, I need access to my food. I don't want my food at all right now. I don't give a fuck about my food. I don't care, but I need access to my food.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's still there.
I am so full right now, dude. I am so full, but I need to have food available, because that's the way the world works. I can't fucking.
Yeah, you basically, if you don't give him access to his food, you're basically like blocking out the sun.
Yeah,
in
his like. So what the where? I don't. Yeah. Having dogs fun.
Yeah, I miss.
Are you gonna get any pets?
We're gonna get a cat eventually. I've been looking into it, but it's been tougher because of the pandemic. But I'm cat sitting for Rochelle Cody right now, so that's been
cool.
Yeah, so she's pretty. She lives pretty close to me, so she's hanging out in Spokane right now, I think. So I've been going over and feeding her cat and hanging out with her cat. So that's been nice.
Nice. That's almost like babysitting when it's her cat.
No, yeah.
That'd be like watching Tiffany McGuire's cats or something. Because doesn't she have multiple cats? And she's also, I don't want to call a lady crazy, but she likes her cats a lot.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
hey.
yeah, the cat's pretty fucking chill though, man. I love that cat. The funniest thing was like I went and like laid on the couch and I was watching TV, and the cat literally, I had my arm up like this, and the cat went in the gap between where my arm and like where my head was. Dude. And just laid down and just purred like crazy. I was like, okay, so you just need to be fed once, and
yeah,
I'm your best friend now.
Yeah, cats cool. I love cats for that reason though. Like just having a cat around and just sitting down, and then the cat's like, cool, you're sitting down, I'm coming to hang out right now, because that's when I know that you'll just be like all up in my shit, and so they just get all excited, dude. It's so nice.
Yeah, cats are pretty great.
I like everything about cats. Everything about cats I like, but they're fucking shit.
Dude, their piss is worse than their shit, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, just
cat piss is like, cats are like the only animals where their piss is like, I would much rather have a bucket of cat poop dumped on my head than a
I mean, than a bucket of cat piss. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, or I would rather. Okay, let's say that I would rather step in cat poop than step in cat piss. Cat piss is just gross.
Yeah, and it's got that like
cat turds are just kind of like cat turds are gross too, but they're kind of dry.
A turd. Yeah, a turd is a turd, but piss isn't the same across the board.
Yeah, well, yeah, cat piss is just there's something like pungent and like it just seems like it'll last forever. The smell, it's like it's a never ending smell.
Yeah, it gets stuck in everything. It's I don't know what that. There's something that just cuts through everything about cat piss, and it just I don't know. There's something dark. It was like a dark piece, like it was like an entertainment center. Okay, you know those shitty entertainment centers that are black, and it's just like black particle board, simple, boom, here you go. And I got one right there.
And, all right, no, I've owned a few of
those. So my grandpa's cat would piss on the back of this thing, and so nobody knew that it was doing that. And eventually, we figured it out because it stunk so bad in that corner. And cat piss has this stuff in it that I don't get. I don't fucking get what's going on with cats. I don't understand them enough, I guess. But there's so much more than just like pee coming out of a cat piss.
Mm-hmm. I think
do you understand cats?
I think they send out a pheromone. If I'm not 100%, like I feel like I read somewhere there's something like a pheromone that deters other animals away or something. I don't.
Yeah, because it smells so fucking bad. Is why.
Yeah, it's off. It's off. It's just that's just such a. I've been to a few people's houses and like that's the first thing you smell. And when they have cats, like most cat owners in Portland aren't like that, but in Florida, you could always tell if someone owned a cat. It would like immediately they'd be like, "Oh, cat piss." Like it was just that's all you smelled. You're like, "Fuck, dude, I don't want to be here." Ugh, gross.
Yeah, 1 out of 10 cat piss owners actually have a skunk as well.
Oh yeah,
just fucking yeah. I got a skunk.
I had a friend that had ferrets when I was a kid. He had like 3 ferrets, and they had litter boxes in the corner of the trailer, and like in each corner of the trailer. It was crazy.
Okay, so I shit on ferrets a lot and say they're stupid and they're gross and they stink and whatever, which is I feel all that's true. But if someone had a ferret around me, I'd be like, "Ooh, cool!" and I'd play with it and I'd love it, and then I'd give it back and I'd be like, "I don't ever want to fucking." That's good. I'm good for another. How old am I? I don't need to. I'm good. But
well, that's because you probably just love animals in general, and that would be a new experience. But then once you like cataloged it in your head, you're like, all right, now just get the fucking thing.
That's all I needed. I needed to just see. I've seen the videos of you guys wiggling like a fucking snake. It's awesome. What are you doing? Where's your bones? Cool.
Where's your bones?
And then, yeah, have you? They do this kind of shit with them, and the ferrets just like
those slinky pets.
Yeah, I want to see a ferret fucking tumble down.
Dude, they're crazy when they wrestle each other. That was really cute. I will say that. Like they'll when there's more of them, they'll just like
hustle and roll around and shit.
Yeah,
well, they're like crazy. Close to a mongoose, right? They're pretty close.
Yeah, I think they're pretty similar to. They're like a weasel. I think. I'm not 100.
What's that one? The Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Oh yeah.
Is that what that's called? That's what I was doing. I was doing the thing. Why did he act like a rattlesnake?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so. It's a children's story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm bringing up something. I don't remember. So there's things I watched when I was a kid that was like a cartoon, but it wasn't necessarily a kids movie, and I can't separate that from like kids cartoons that I watched. It's hard to see which ones win. Oh, dude, you had a cool swirl going. There was a
Nice.
that was good. Oh man,
Have you been out in the snow today? Oh, you went to work, right? So
I went to work. Yeah, so we don't have snow here. What happened here was we have about had yesterday. Yeah, I didn't even go to work yesterday because it was just like it was dangerous outside because like tree limbs were falling because everywhere, like on top of cars, on every surface was like an inch and a half of ice.
Oh
So
fuck.
then, yeah, there was no snow anywhere. So
Oh
it's
yeah, you
just,
guys got freezing rain.
yeah, it was crazy. One of our trees, but it, you know, those, you know, the smoking area on our back porch, there's those
Hmm.
trees that are like, you know, 10 feet tall over there by the fence. One of those
Hmm.
fell
Oh
down.
shit.
But I mean, you know, that's I still consider us super lucky compared to some of the people really close around here. It's because you know how many fucking there's huge ass trees around here, and there's just I was just standing on the back porch like smoking a cigarette, watching just giant things of ice fall out of these huge trees, just like oh fuck, and it's just like boom, and it land on something, and I'm like ah, like because nobody can do anything. You just have to be like okay, hope it doesn't fall on my shit. I mean, Zach moved his car out of the way just so, you know, just in case something like bounced and fell. But yeah, nothing's over our stuff, which is just super lucky. I hit the power line with a broom handle, which was metal. The broom handle was metal, and I was holding the other metal side, which as soon as I did it, was like, what the fuck are you doing, you goddamn moron? But
did you
anyway,
scream like Goofy afterwards? You're like Yahoo! It seems like, and then you just like your all your body gets real straight, and you're like.
oh, and then the theme song kicked in and everything. It was great.
I thought your hood looked pretty electric.
But yeah, so all the ice from that power line fell. Some of it fell on my head, which I mean, it was fine because it was just some ice falling, but the rest of it fell like right on top of my car, which made a really loud noise. It was fine. But yeah, it's nuts. Emma and I went for a little walk and we just saw like it's crazy because people are just kind of like standing outside their house like fuck because there's
Yeah.
just and it sucks because like it's something like this that happens and everybody that's affected around here it's all you know the trees fell on your shit or a bunch of ice fell on your shit and broke your windshield. That's one that happened right over here. And everybody who's like ceiling has a big hole in it now or like roof to ceiling has a big hole in it now. I saw one of those. So like a corner, like a tree fell on the corner of someone's house. I didn't see any that were just like you know completely down the middle, which is nice for everybody I guess. um Broken windows, stuff like that. And it's like those kinds of thing because it was a weather phenomenon or whatever, an act of God, as they call it in the insurance biz. Uh, a lot of people, it seems like they're just fucked if that's how that actually works. What?
Fuck so they're not going to cover it. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, acts of God. So like that would be a wind blowing over a tree. So ice. I know that wind blowing over a tree is one of them. I know that. But I mean, in Florida, you get hurricane insurance or certain things like that. Like in California, there was earthquake insurance. I remember that being a thing. But yeah, so an ice storm, an ice with just shit weighing down trees. That would just be one of those. Yeah, I don't know. It's just fucked to think about. Like, oh man, you almost feel bad or whatever it is. The whole thing of like nothing happened here, but it's fucking two houses down, two houses that way.
I like that I like the irony that all an insurance company does is crunch numbers and find ways to not pay for people's shit. And
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, that was an act of God. God that we all believe in and follow. It's like you motherfuckers fuck people over and just do numbers all day. Like how do you? It's just so crazy to me that that's part of their opt out clause. It's like, oh God,
Yeah, God's one of the that's the big cult thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's accepted by everybody, even people who don't believe in God. They'll do the Pledge of Allegiance and they'll be like, I mean, it's fine. You can just say it. It's okay.
I'm at a point where I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Whatever you guys need to, and
Yeah,
whatever detail you need to help you get to bed.
I just say under Voldemort and then see if anybody looks at me, and I go, sorry, I'm a different one. I don't do that one. I do this one. And then they go, that's a book. And then I go, wait a second. And then my attitude in high school is played out. That's what I was in high school. Once I was, as soon as I stopped being a Christian, I was very angry against Christians. Now I'm just like, it's really annoying. It's really annoying when people are taken advantage of. I hate that. That's the part about Christianity that pisses me off, when nobody cares that people are being taken advantage of and nobody's noticing. I hate
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But now I'm to the point where I'm like, fucking, I don't care. We'll do whatever. Because there's people that are like, man, Scientology is crazy. I'm like, well, yeah. Have you heard about those people that talk to burning bushes or whatever they do? It's like, I mean, just pick one. Who cares? It's I like watching Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. You like watching Wipeout. I don't care. We like watching people fall down.
It's still bad. Yeah, it's still bad television. Like
we're both eating garbage food, watching something on the TV, and then
pick your channel, pick your poison. It's all the same shit.
Yeah. It's what's your garbage television, if when you turn it on and you're just like, I need something to not really pay attention to while I'm eating this food that I just am by yourself, not with people. Okay, that's specific. By yourself.
By myself when no one's there. Probably just like I've been watching a lot of clips of late night and just watching some of that. So it's been like
with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, like Jimmy Fallon. And it doesn't even have to be funny. I'm just watching it. I don't know. Like I'm just got to a point where that's how I keep up on what's happening. Is I watch Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, and I don't Colbert makes me laugh, but I don't think Kimmel or Fallon have actually really made me laugh out loud at all. And I watch it and I don't enjoy it even really. I just have it on in the background. I usually just have some kind of adult cartoon on in the background too, like if I'm just watching stuff. So just some Adult Swim crap usually. It's real bad,
dude. So my daughter and Emma watch Steven Universe a lot, and I'll hang out and watch a couple of the episodes. I think it's a pretty good show. It's fine. Yeah. I've never watched Adventure Time, so I'm not indoctrinated already. So I watched probably 4 episodes of Steven Universe out of the 3 seasons that they've gone through. Anyway, so last week I was sitting in there, so I just went in and I was like, oh, I'll watch this episode. And then for some reason I decided to ask a question, and I was like, so this girl have you watched the show?
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes. I like it, but it's not. I didn't understand why people were super obsessed with it, because I was like, it's okay. It's not.
I don't get it.
The music's cool. The music's cool. I like the animation.
I love all the actors.
Yeah, I get that it's also very progressive. I think people like it because it's super progressive and it's a kids show, which is, I mean, all of those things are great. It just there wasn't something deep down in it that clicked with me. I was like,
Yeah,
ah,
it's the
it's
Foo
cool.
Fighters.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is for me because it's like, hey,
Oh, like
fucking
you like the Foo Fighters, but you're
yeah,
like not fight. You're not gonna fight for them, or
yeah.
you know.
But also like if someone said they hated the Foo Fighters, I'd be like, why? What the fuck? Why? Who hates the Foo Fighters? I don't understand. I've never heard anybody say they hate the Foo Fighters because I don't think that anybody can because they're so like inoffensive as a band. It's
Uh-huh.
just like, hey, we're having fun, and like that's it. That's it. That's it. Uh, what Steven Universe. So I come into this episode and I was asking about the origin because they were talking about their origins, but they skipped over one of the characters. I think her
Mhm.
name is Amethyst.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's one of the main characters.
yeah, so they skipped over her. So I was like, oh, what's she's not one of them. And then Emma's like, oh, this is actually the episode where they tell her story. And by the end of that episode, I was bawling like crazy
Yep.
and was like, what the fuck? Like, what? That's crazy. But yeah, it was one of those ones that it was like, oh shit, like I don't know. It's two things at the same time when a piece of art hits you and makes you feel like at the same time you're not alone, but also
Hmm.
at the like while feeling like, oh, I'm not alone, you feel like the melancholy of, oh, I'm also not special.
Yeah.
So then it's like and like that kind of feeling when certain things hit me that way, it always gets me because I'm like happy, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'm I don't know, becoming an adult is a lot of realizing that you're not that important.
Mhm. That's true.
It's crazy. And yeah, being okay with it. How are how are you doing with the lack of comedy in your life right now?
Um, I've gotten up I've gotten up kind of recently actually. I did a
Oh
few
hell
like
yeah.
no, yeah. I did there was a open mic in Beaverton that was really fun. And it's really funny because it was right by where I used to work.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I've talked about this. This is kind of a lot of information, but when I worked out there, I would get like 2.5 hour breaks, and there's nothing to do at that in that area of Beaverton. There's nothing. There's literally like a
Was it
Target.
just slow?
It was very slow. Yeah, I'd get 2.5 hour breaks where I there was nothing to do, so I would just walk around Beaverton, get stoned, go into Target, and I would try and find like restaurants, like walk-in restaurants that had like a single used bathroom, and I would beat off in bathrooms. Like
There's
I got a 2.5 hour break. What am I gonna do? I was like, I can't think of anything to
nothing
do.
else to do.
Yeah, and I know that sounds like fucked up, but I was like, it was never. I never did it in a stall where there's anyone near me, and I'm
Yeah.
very quiet. I'm very quiet, and I was always very clean. But I used to find I was like, so
I just imagine someone walking into a bathroom and be like, oh my God, who jerked off in here?
but it's really funny. I opened I opened my set at that spot in Beaverton talking about all the places I jerked off in on that road. Like
That's a great, nice, a local reference run of just like everybody knows exactly what you're talking about and where.
yeah, so yeah, I jerked off in this restaurant. They have a very nice bathroom, and it's like, it was pretty funny, and it was like people in their 50s and 60s in the front row, and I was like, this is just so much fun for me right now. I had a lot of fun at that show. Oh, there was a bunch of Salem people there, which was nice. There was
Oh hell yeah.
yeah, Tina was there, and so was Dash, and who else was there? Ty Boyce was there.
Oh yeah.
It was cool. It was a fun time, man. It was really nice. You gotta get out there and check it out.
Cool.
But we have a few.
What's the place and what's the setup?
It's called the Garages in Beaverton, and it's a really weird place. I used to go there all the time on my breaks because it's a place called the Garage Sale Warehouse, and it's all these independent sellers. It's basically like a physical eBay. It's all these people who have all this shit they want to sell, so they set up a booth, and it's like a flea market. It's
Okay.
pretty cool. But on the other side, they've got this bar. They've got this like boomer bar, is what it seems like, because it's like people in their 50s and 60s running it, and it's all like good time rock and roll themed and shit. But we were on the outdoor patio, but they said they're moving it indoors soon, and it's a huge fucking space. It's really cool.
Wow. Hell
But
yeah.
I'm to be doing it there, and then we have the drive-in mic right now. I went to that the other night, but I was meeting up with a Tinder lady, so I was like,
Nice.
and the list was thick, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. So I didn't end up going up, but it was fun. And there's a bunch of cars there. There was like probably about 15 audience members, I'd say, and there was a bunch of comics. There's about 35 comics on the list.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, we're coming back. We're coming back, and it's cool because it's like the same person producing all these mics, which is interesting. Like, and I was like, dude, that now's the time to fucking monopolize it. If other people don't want to run shit, like, good on you, man.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
at least for now, until shit pops up again. But I don't know. I'm having fun with it. I got they booked me for a show coming up on the 26th, so I've got my first show, like show in a fucking long time.
Fuck
Like,
yeah, dude.
I haven't had any live shows during the quarantine at all, so this is cool. I'm excited.
Hell yeah. So did you completely skipped out on doing Zoom comedy, right?
I
No,
did.
you did Truth or Dare,
I did
which
truth.
is
I did
kinda.
Truth or Dare, which was a lot of fun. I also did the 50 Shades of Brown with Sushil. I think it's Sushil Ganesh.
Oh yeah,
He,
shade number one.
yeah, I was shade number one. Yeah, but that one was fun too. But yeah, I mean, I haven't. I've signed up for Zoom open mics, but I didn't end up doing them. I don't know. I just don't. I don't want to stare myself in the eyeballs when I'm fucking doing comedy. It's just weird to me. Like
That's
I had a good time at Truth or Dare with it because it felt conversational because we were all hanging out
yeah.
and doing shit, and that was fun. But I don't know. It just feels weird.
Were you on the same one that Zach got a Lego and a toy tarantula and he was just making them fight in front of the camera for a long time?
No, you told me
Oh
about
my
that. I think that was
god.
the one before me.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's so funny. We had Shingle on ours, and he was in a practice space, and there was a
Oh,
guy
with the
playing
drums.
drums real loud. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was so funny. And you could tell he was being really polite, and you could tell he was getting pissed off, and it was so funny because I
Oh
was like,
man.
I was just laughing about that situation. He's like, man, fuck that guy.
It almost I mean like if there was a thing where he was like, "Oh no, I actually just I know the guy," and I was like, "Hey, can you just play drums really loud for the next like 15-20 minutes?" Because that would I'm just gonna I don't he
Yeah,
actually
if he playing
doesn't
that out, dude. If he playing that out, that would have been so fucking funny, actually.
yeah.
Like,
Uh I hope I'm just gonna kind of subtly assume that he planned that and never ask him because I don't want to actually, I want to just kind of assume and think it's possible that he's got like 5 levels ahead of me.
that's so funny. There's so many comics that like I've met them, and I'm like, I hope this is a character. Like, God, I hope. Like, have you met some comics where you're like, I hope you're a character and not real. I hope this isn't who you really are.
Yeah, I mean, the first Will Gibbons comes to mind like a reflex.
Yeah,
Uh,
Ahmed's the one where I'm like, dude, I hope you're like some kind of Tony
yeah.
Clifton level genius. I hope so, because if not, this I was like, this is bad.
Well, I've seen him do comedy. I think one time at the High Dive, and it was fine because he was getting big reactions out of the room of people who knew who he was. So
Mhm.
I didn't really know him, but I just talked to him outside of a bunch of mics. Um, but So I was kind of confused because I was like, oh, this is something that I'm not getting because he's not being funny, but people are laughing really hard at like what I don't know if it's at him, but it's while this is going on. Either way,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's having a good time, but I don't know what's going on. But he's uh really funny on Facebook and shit. Like he
Oh yeah,
says some of the things that I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's really funny, and
no,
he comes
he's
from
fucking hilarious. That's why I'm like, I don't know if he's just like
yeah,
if that's just him or if he's doing like okay. So the funniest thing I may have told you this before. The funniest thing he's ever done that I've ever seen him do at least was so he was the host at Father's Place in Portland,
okay,
and that's a fucking like dive bar where people just get hammered and people get cut off all the time. This lady was outside. We were all talking and grouping up like comics do after a show, and this lady was like, "They cut me off," and she was like slurring and stuff. She's like, I don't know what to do. They cut me off." And she came to Ahmed and she's like, "Can you say something to him? You hosted the show." And she's like, "I just can't believe they cut me off." And he's like, "You know what we'll do? We'll call the police." Somebody call the police. Like they took away your PBR and said you couldn't have any more. It was like I can't believe that. It was so funny
it's
with the whole situation. He just he says like he he says what other people want to say, but he
yeah,
says it in such a way that like I've seen him be antagonistic to someone to a point that the lady actually was intrigued by him later on and like wanted his number. It was so fucking weird. I was like, how did you asshole your way into this situation? How did you do that? Like, holy shit. It was
yeah,
crazy.
it's I think that's one of those things that you have to just put the gas pedal to the floor, and as long as you commit, it's like running at a window. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
You gotta just like you're gonna go through it, and you have to believe that you're gonna go through it and plan your landing on the other side of it accordingly. Because if you don't, if you're trying to if you just do it that way, like I know what I'm talking about here, uh, you're gonna just bounce off the window. We've seen it happen hundreds of times. We've seen it in this movie, that other movie, in Proof on that one infomercial.
Mhm.
It's been done. Breaking through windows. But yeah, no, that's one of those things of I've seen it happen, and I will say it works. If I've been that person, I used to drink a lot. So
Yeah.
there's a time when you drink a lot and then you go like, huh, I think I can find someone that I don't care about at all to be around tonight. And
Mhm.
then you just go like, oh, I'm gonna just do whatever I want and not worry about someone's feelings. And then that intrigues them. And then you go, well, that's unhealthy on your part, but whatever, it works out for me. And then yeah, that's a path that just works. And once you have a few of those, you're just tired of it.
Mhm. I know. No, I know what you mean. I've definitely been there. That's something that happened in Florida a few times where I was just like,
It's
I don't
it's
like it.
very
Like, I
that's
recognize like, I don't like this behavior. Like I need to. That was usually when I was like, I need to slow down. Like that was before I realized I wanted to quit drinking. Like I didn't realize I wanted to quit drinking until like the year before. But like in
mhm.
Florida, I think I had some hints that this was bad. Like I was like, ooh, like
Yeah, it makes well in Florida it makes everything so much. I don't know, it's easier because it's like let's get some beers and just go, all right, have shots or whatever, and every night is a party. I mean, in my experience, as soon
oh
as I
yeah.
was older than 18, there every night was a party, and you can get into bars when you're 18. You just get X's on your hands, and
Mhm.
then it's just you go fucking have fun and figure out ways to see people naked and just go fucking party and go get in the warm water and find a way home and go
You
see
make you
the.
make Florida sound like we both need to go back right now.
Do you know how often I think that same thing? I'm just like, man, it just because I mean, like I keep
But
up
they'll
with
remember the rust that comes along with it.
I didn't experience very many bad things because I was in I've only really been to a town that isn't that big. It's smaller than Salem,
Hmm.
and it's like I've been to Orlando and like Mobile, Alabama. Those are like the three places that I've been. I mean, like Pensacola, Panama City, but those are all like right in the same spot. Um, and yeah, the town that I lived in is just it's still the same. And like my friends from like third grade and fourth grade, they're just like one's in a band and one has his own like food company, and I'm just like, oh, it's cool. Everybody's still they get okay, cool. Still, it's exactly the same.
Hmm.
Except, I mean, like half the people are fucking dead because they overdosed or got murdered and thrown off a building and whatever. Because it's Florida, and you can't have that many people that without having some people die in weird ass ways.
No, dude, I was like, I always talked about how where I grew up was dangerous, but I didn't realize how dangerous it was to look up the statistics. It was like 1 out of 25 people where I grew up is statistically bound to be involved with some kind of violent crime. They said, like as
Yeah,
a victim, like
dude,
either yeah. It's
dude.
like what
There's
1 in 25? That's insane.
so so there's this guy from the town that I'm from. He won the lottery. He started a painting company with most of that money, and then right after that, he got thrown off a building. I mean, he fell off of a building. Sorry, I didn't even mean to accidentally say he got thrown off a building. He fell off of a building, but I mean, he won the lottery and then fell off of a building. And then there's just a lot of like he's related to a couple people that have had problems with um, jealousy and a bunch of different things, and two of the dudes ran pills at the same time, and it's like, man, it gets real deep real fast, like just because it's so easy,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is just like, oh, do you want to do crime? Do you want to do some crime?
It just seemed like such an acceptable option because you knew so many people committing crimes. Like
Yeah.
it's
Well, and
insane. Like
also,
I really like. I mean, I obviously did drugs there, but I got so scared when it became like a business to my friends and shit. Like that just freaked me out. Like they were
yeah.
like they were running fucking OxyContin from Florida to North Carolina and like
Ooh, that's
doing
some sick
super
shit.
they were doing some super sketchy shit, man. And I'm like, this is I like you guys are fucking idiots. Like you're gonna get arrested forever. Like fucking you're going down.
Yeah, that's super sketchy. The
Yeah.
place that I worked was just it was a popular place for a lot of people to go to figure out where to get things, and to like, you know, meet the right people to get things, whether it's Dunkin' Donuts or if it's anything else.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I just got a job, and you know, the people that were there were like, hey, there's a lot of opportunities for you. Else, like, you can still work here. That's fine. But you're going to get a lot of people coming in here asking different questions than the main ones you're trained to, answer. And then I don't know. You just once there's a way that you can do a little bit of crime but not get in trouble for it, and have everybody be like, oh no, that's fine. We're just we commit a little bit of crime here. That's fine. You go like,
Mhm.
oh, really? Oh shit, that's fun. I've seen like Goodfellas is cool, dude. I'm all down. Like I love this kind of shit. So that's neat. Can we Ocean's 11 somebody? Oh, just make it feel like a movie, and I'm in.
That's fine.
I'll fucking do some crime.
I'm glad I never had a brush in with the mob because the mob is like pretty much owns Tampa apparently. So I'm glad I never like. I think the closest I ever came to any mob stuff was just going to strip clubs. Like that's probably like being anywhere near them. I mean, because I think I saw like a few mobsters when I was at Mons Venus for sure. Like I was like, oh, this is kind of.
What's it called? Mons Venus?
There's Mons Venus, and then there's also Odyssey with the spaceship.
Like Mons Pubis?
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from probably.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
You watch Big Mouth, and I know.
I actually have not ever watched that show.
Really, yeah. There's a whole episode about Mons Pubis.
Oh, really? I just remember that from high school. It was one of the funnier things to say.
Mons Pubis.
Yeah.
It's me, Pubis, Mon. Oh, God.
Whose pubis is this?
Mon Pubis.
It's Mons Pubis.
No. Oh, the goofiest thing.
All right. Yeah, that's been this week on Must Be Nice with Kyle Adams, Chad Johnson. Kyle Adams right over there at Kyle Adams Comedy. Kyle, when is your show?
February 26th, and I'm not sure where it's at in Beaverton, but it's somewhere in Beaverton. I have been notified.
This comes out 2 days after that. So fucking that show that you did, it was awesome. Hell yeah.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. And catch me turning down more shows left and right, being like, nah, thanks. I don't really want to go stand up in front of people in that specific setting, but maybe I'll make it to one of the ones that you're all about up there. And
the open mics have been fun. And then we have one downtown on Mondays too, like in Portland.
Downtown, huh?
Yeah, it's off of Cooch Street.
Was it just like on a corner?
Yeah, it's at Big Legrowski's.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's an outdoor mic. It's pretty cool. They're all set up like a FEMA camp. It's fun. It's a mixed mic.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Those can be fun. Usually are, especially in Portland, I could see.
It's a good time, and I just like when the music's playing, I'm waiting for my turn. I like being able to like smoke a blunt and hear music, just gotta walk around the block a little bit. It's always nice.
Yeah, that is great. Cool. Well, thank you, Kyle, and thank you everybody for watching. See you next week.